Welcome back, my gardening friends. We're on plot 1 and we had some polycarbonate dropped off at the allotment, and it's got 4 cells in there, so I would imagine it was on a really good conservatory roof, and I helped myself to them, and there's a few more dotted around, hopefully to try and get a little bit of extra rainwater. After that hot spell, we didn't have any thunderstorms. We had some rain. I think we probably had half an inch to an inch of rain, and I'm not sure whether this helped or not, but I'll just put it there. And we haven't had anything else since, so what we've had has probably dried up now. A little bit extra in the barrels. The peppers and everything are doing really well in the greenhouse with the gravity fed wick guttering system, so pleased with that. We'll be doing a few harvest videos in the future. Steve's single seed potato challenge, they're still looking quite good. We had one pot fail early on, but the flowers have come and gone now, so we'll keep these going as long as we can. Really easy to water as long as you do it regular. And these are the same, different composts. We tried a little bit of living green compost, and then some of my homemade, see how they compare. And the Christmas potatoes do look really well, and we did one with hoof and horn, one with bloodfish and bone, and then the other with comfrey, the comfrey leaves. And that one's lagging behind, but it might have been because the chits were trying to push their way through the comfrey leaves. But they look good at the moment. You can always tell when the fruit is probably about 2 or 3 weeks away from being ready. The wasps are helping themselves. As you can see, they're hovering around the plums. I found a couple of plums on the floor, and to be right, they're not far off from being ready, so I think I'd rather take them early than let them be eaten. Got another 3 pallet collars. I saw them, I stopped, and I asked. And they said yes. It's always worth asking if you see anything, but always ask, don't take. It's another month to the giant vegetable show, and it'll be interesting to see how well the condors have done. My first reveal wasn't very good, but these have greened up. These were the later ones, and they've done a lot better than the ones that prepared in the barrels, but we never know until we do a reveal. I found this. It's like 2 sets of grow tent. The grow tent didn't look very pretty, so I helped myself to these, and I'm hoping that I can put this together in a fashion that it'll cover these strawberries ready for next year. We'll do a little video on that to see if we can make it work. The autumn fruiting raspberries didn't like the second heat wave. They did shrivel up a bit because it was very, very warm, but they're coming on leaps and bounds now. And the blackberries have been really nice. Probably not enough blackberries now to do an apple and blackberry crumble, but excuse me. And none have gone to waste, they've all been eaten fresh. I decided to have a go at this Aztec broccoli, and they did say it grew really big. I'm not sure what we're supposed to eat. I might have to look it up. Don't eat me. Oh yes, I will. Giant cabbage for Malvern. That's not going to be going. And there's some more of the broccoli there. And the strawberries seem to be doing better in here in this shaded area from that massive heat. A few leaves on the ends that shriveled up, but I need to get all this tidied up and see what we've got left ready for next year. Just one of those little housekeeping jobs that we leave, but we need to get done fairly soon. We pruned the summer fruiting raspberries back, and you just might now be able to see. Let's get it. There we go. Their side shoots are coming out now, which we haven't got on the ones that we haven't cut. As you can see, they need tying back, and it's quite windy today, so you might be getting a little bit of wind noise and aeroplane noise. Very, very happy with how this red currant bush is done. I'm still finding red currants. Did I say raspberries? No, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm on about. Red currants. So it should be even better next year when we prune upwards and not outwards. So much easier to walk through. Big improvement. Well worth the effort. We still have a lot of green stuff about. Not productive because, well, it is productive because it's going to give me some seeds eventually. But the second sowing of chard, and taking a few pickings of those. Whiteflies completely destroyed the perennial kale. And let's have a little look at the sweet corn. Now, I personally don't think I've had any pollen fall from the tassels, but they are going brown. Well, that's just because they're dying off, I don't know. But considering I thought I was going to get nothing, it'll be interesting to see what's in those. But we'll leave them a bit longer till they've gone completely brown. But this year I've even had the small ones coming off the side shoots. Let's fingers crossed that they actually develop, because if these don't get pollinated, even one strand doesn't get pollinated, then you don't get the corn form in the cob. The asparagus, I thought it might have died back a little bit, but now it's well established in this bed, in and around the underground worm farms. It's doing okay, so we should be able to get a full picking for the full 6 weeks next year. Again, this was a long-term project, starting off from seed to this. Very pleased. Sometimes you have to wait and be patient. I've just looked at the pongos, and they're ready now to be taken. They've died back nicely. This one's still trying to grow, and there should be enough seed to replenish everything that I've sown this year, and a little bit more. I sowed my Swedes later this year, but the whitefly having a field day with these as well. There's different varieties, you can tell by the leaves, or these might actually be the turnips. These were planted in there from the cell trays. I didn't split them up, and as you can see, I'm going to take the bigger ones, but I'm just trying to get some winter crops. And Falco F1, they've done okay. The sprouts don't look like sprouts this year, but we do have some forming. But trouble is, we've got a lot of horrible aphid issues, and of course all the poop will drop down onto the sprouts and spoil them. But it's been one of those years. I've took the cover off those brassicas. I think I trapped 3 butterflies inside, so they just completely decimated everything with all the flies and everything else that got in there. But I've managed to save the kale and a purple sprouting, so hopefully we'll get a crop February and March off that if it survives the whitefly and aphids. The second, what I thought was a teddy bear sunflower, is Sun King that I had from Alan, but very similar to the teddy bear, I think. The beans are setting nicely now, literally every flower, and thank you to everyone who commented on that video. And I think it's everyone's assumption that it was definitely too warm on the night time for the flowers to set. So nothing we can do about that, but we've had a good picking, that's the main thing. And you turn your back and they've got a little bit too big. Keep taking them off. I like to pick them smaller. That's probably okay because it hasn't got a string in it. I'll have a munch on that in a minute, but I do like to take them small. Never seem to do any good with celery, trying to get a nice tight plant, vegetable, whatever you want to call it, but the parsnips do look excellent, and it looks like we might be taking one of those parsnips for the longest at Malvern. I've tidied these beds up now. As you can see, it's sunk again, and as everyone knows, even if we buy fresh compost, it's organic, so it'll break down, similar to our compost bins. So these will get the field beans that we saved from seed, that we planted just for seed. And we had a fair bit of rain, but nothing comes of it. I don't like to disturb it too much because these are no dig. The radishes are going to seed quite nicely, so we've got a couple of varieties there, and the Sparkler 3 that I saved a few years back I'm still using, and because they've seed from this plot, they do really well. The what I call a giant tomato that we was hoping to take to Malvern, that will go over, so I'm going to probably pick that and have a munch on it. A rather good excuse me moment. I've grown quite a few different varieties of tomato in the polytunnel. Some haven't come as I thought they would, but I must say I am enjoying the Sun Gold F1 yellow. They've been really productive, and it's nice to have a good selection within the lunchbox. And the Jen's Cherry Tangerine have also been very nice and tasty, so I'll reduce the amount of varieties that I grow next year, and hopefully we'll have something different in the polytunnel to plant them in if I get time. It looks like I've got a busy September, even though some of my workload finishes this weekend as you watch it on Sunday. Workload drops off from there, then September's going to be very hectic again, so what I get done, I get done. And I think these are desperate for a water. I've got some kestrel potatoes there to harvest. They've died back now, so We'll just top those up with a little bit of compost just to stop anything going green and just keep them reasonably moist but not wet, so they don't rot and that they don't go soft if they go too dry. And if I keep them all in the same place, then hopefully I won't forget to water them. Carrot box is almost emptied out now. I've had some really nice carrots out there, and it would have been even better if we'd have got the wick guttering system in, which I'll be doing. I'll be emptying this out, probably empty this out and put it into these beds here once we've chopped down the green manure in January, February time. While the beds are so low, it's easier to do the green manure, then cover the green manure with compost from other areas. And we're just hoping that these carrots will go to seed. Be interesting to see, because they have been good carrots, so they hopefully come good, even though they are an F1. It doesn't bother me whether they come the same or not, as long as it's a carrot. And these are the last lot of carrots I've got in containers before we start on the sweet candle. So we tried to plant, I say try, every 2 to 3 weeks before we got to the other end, and as far as I can see, no issues whatsoever until we pull them out. But I'm hoping to get 3 of these carrots to take to the harvest pavilion at the Malvern show, and we can start eating them. This is the second lot of courgettes. I say second lot, the first lot was left in the pots for a long time, and then we planted them out, so this is the second lot and this is the first, and they're quite productive. So the Venus, I do like the yellow ones, and the Pickled, but just nice when they're picked really small. And that one needs to go. Don't want it much bigger than that. And several more coming. Very productive, as you can see. They just get longer and longer as we keep taking them off. Very difficult to get them to point in the right direction. They've got a mind of their own. I harvested the red onion Herald F1. We've eaten some, and then also we harvested the red onion Nugent. I'm just letting them dry. Mrs. K does prefer a red onion, and I've still got those there to sort out, all the snowdrops, because those snowdrops will want to be going in wherever I decide to plant them this time. They're the little mini daffs that we had, that some went rotten. We got them on the cheap side, and I've got to do something with the garlic and everything else that we harvested, just haven't had time. The Zabroon shallots are in there. The elephant garlic is in here. Some of the gourmet, golden gourmet is in there. And then the long red Florence is in here. Needs stringing up really. And these are my very sorry looking long roots. Radish has gone to seed, which they normally do when you plant them early. That's the second sowing. I've got some roots come out the bottom, but I think it's weeds. These won't have done very well, but you never know. Just trying to find myself a nice radish pod. These are the long white icicle, and they are very tasty. Excuse me. again, you can see this bed's dropped right down, and I thought, well, if the beans that fell off are now starting to grow, then it's time to get these in. There'll be another video. I'm going to get the peas. They're a pea terrain, and these were sent by one of my viewers to try. Thompson and Morgan, when I did the blog, I'd pinched one of my videos for that. They've sent me those, and they've done well for me this time. And out of the blue, they've sent me from when I did the pea one, they've sent me some more Shiraz and Oregon sugar pod, sugar snaps. So I'll be planting those next year. And one of my viewers, who was very happy with something that I sent them, kindly sent me sunflower Mongolian giant, beetroot bull's blood. I really like that for the harvesting of the leaves, not so much the root. And then lettuce marvel of 4 seasons, and they've come from Premier Seeds direct. So thank you very much. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.